Hey guys, ILene Vick here for Teaching Adult Coloring with ILene Vick. It is Monday, October 25th at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, and I am live. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I hope you guys are having a great day. So now let's settle down and sit back and enjoy some coloring. Welcome to my Facebook peeps who come in and chat. And welcome to my Facebook peeps who lurk. Dorothy. I love Dorothy. She always lurks. And then at the very end of the program, she says hi, or she signs off. Oh my. So good to see everybody. Do me a favor and say hello when you pop in the room, just so that I know that everything is copacetic. And I'd like to say hello to my YouTube peeps. Hi, Wanda. I can see you. Thank you. Hello, Rhonda. So let me show you what I'm coloring on tonight. This is Debbie Macomber's book, a very Merry Christmas coloring book. And I will be adding that to the affiliate list, let's see, tonight. But if you're super anxious to get it, send me a text and I will send you the affiliate link. So there. Ooh, hi Ash. Ashley Harding. So I am so glad and so blessed to see everybody. Love you guys. Let me move some cords around here. Sandy's in the room. Hi, Sandy. So, Ashley, have you been, you said that you were having a little problems coloring the greenery? Did it help to watch on the video, on the broadcast last night? So again, guys, this is Debbie Macomber. There are so many pieces in here that I want to do. It's driving me, this one's driving me crazy. It's really a cool little book. Okay. So yes, my greens just weren't the right greens. What does that mean? Hello, Rita. Rita from Guatemala. Living in Santa Fe, New Mexico, traveling to Tucson, Arizona. So Ashley, explain to me what the problem is and let's see if we can fix it. Alright, so I'm going to continue on this. As you can see, I went ahead and I put the base green on all the greenery, and you can see how beautifully now this is starting to take shape. Now, I've gone into long conversations about not judging a piece while you're coloring it. So I'm going to get my Shady Glade by Brett Funner. Oh, you were just talking to a friend in Guatemala. And how is your friend in Guatemala? I'm so happy for you that you're able to keep in touch. Okay. So Ashley, I need to know exactly what the problem is about your greens so I can, if I can help you. That's why I'm here. All right. So again, this is my Shady Glade. I had put down my base color and now I'm going ahead and adding that shading. I just didn't like the Arteza green, wasn't as dark as I hoped. Okay, so did you compensate for it? You can put another layer of green on there. Ashley, do you swatch your pencils off to the side before you use them? So that's a question I have for everybody. Hi, Melissa. Melissa, Melissa. Da 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 da. So your friend's happy, says Rita. One of our friends will return in December, wants me to come also, but maybe I will go next year. There you go. Melba, hello. Jean, hello. Looks like Tuesday is a good night for broadcasting because you guys can make, a bunch of you make it. So I want you to see how I'm going through and I'm shading the outsides. Ooh, Rhonda has an update. I spoke to Paula today. She was released. Oh my gosh, from the hospital yesterday. She sounds so good, much stronger, and like herself. Oh. We talked for about 10 minutes, so happy and relieved. And again, thank you all for the prayers. Paula thanks everyone too. Zoom in. Oh my gosh, guys, yes. Oh, Rhonda, that is beautiful news. Zoom in. Zoom in. I'm so sorry for the camera adjustment, guys. There we go. So my question today is this, and I would appreciate if you guys just chat with me for a few minutes before you stick your noses in your coloring. I would appreciate that. So my question is, do you swatch your pencils before you use them in your coloring? Rhonda said, I don't think I realized how worried I was. I feel so happy. Oh, yeah. So Rhonda says she swatches first. Jean says yes and no. What does yes and no mean, please? Oh, okay, guys, wait a minute. Whoa, 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 whoa. I don't mean swatch them when you get... No. I don't mean swatch them when you get new pencils. What I mean is when you go to color, when you're coloring, do you swatch your pencils on a little scrap piece of paper just before you color the area? See, here's my swatch sheet. I do it all the time. Oh, that's my BRB. So I always do a little test. Mary says sometimes. Sandy says yes. Melissa says yes. She swatches her individual pencils that she picks up. Okay. Yes, usually all the time, says Rita. Wanda uses swatch charts on all her pencils. That's how I choose my colors for pictures. Sometimes I will swatch the three I'm using to see how they work together. Okay. Ashley, do you swatch your pencils just before you use them to see how they work together? Oh, okay, Ashley says, yes, I do. Unfortunately, I picked the wrong base color. Okay. Gotcha. So that falls into the category of seemed like a good idea at the time. Oh, my. Okay, so I want you to notice how I am putting this darker color over my lighter color. Sometimes I come in all the way, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I feel like a nut. Oop. Rita says that she also writes the name over the color if I'm using many different shades of one color. Okay. Well, here's my point. And Ashley, this might help you. If you're going to layer your colors... Oh, I'm going to sneeze. Excuse. Somebody's got perfume on today that I'm reacting to. Okay. So Ashley, what I'm thinking for you, I don't know how many times you've run into this, but go ahead and hi Jennifer. Thank you. Maddie says I came just in time to hear you sneeze. If you're going to layer your pencils, swatch your layers. Jennifer is in the room. So guys, tell me today on a scale from 1 to 10 how you're feeling today. Whoop, let me move around. All right, so I'm going to go back to there. Amanda Butler Guzentite. What's that, Rita? Maddie says I can't go into a store selling scents. Oh my gosh, did you guys see that in the news that some kind of aromatherapy that Walmart was selling was making people sick, and a couple people died? It had some kind of botulism in it. So on a scale from 1 to 10, how are you feeling tonight? Maddie says 5 gassy. Maddie, aren't you glad you don't have a microphone attached to you? Okay. So if you guys bought any aromatherapy stuff from Walmart, you better check the news. Just letting you know. Melissa says 6. Melissa, any word on your back surgery? Wanda says that she's ordered my Buds and Butterflies book today. It should arrive Friday. Yay. Jennifer says, feeling well, just tired, can't seem to sleep and stay asleep at nights. Oh. Jennifer, put on Whispering's Piano. Or don't go back to the surgeon until December. Oh, I'm sorry. You told me that, Melissa. Just smacked me. But thank you for reminding me. Maddie's an insomniac. Yep. Any more now? I sleep during the day, and I'm up at night. So it's kind of funny because sometimes Maddie and I will get into conversations like 3 in the morning. Jennifer, have you thought about playing something in the background? Put up one of my broadcasts and listen to that. You guys tell me I have a soothing voice. Wanda says, oh my gosh, I had the worst experience this evening. Oh no. Alright guys, brace yourself. Another Wanda story. Wanda, what happened? Okay, so don't forget I'm using Shady Glade from Brett Funner. And I'm going through and I am darkening the tips of my greenery. Jennifer, have you tried melatonin? A very small dose. Okay, Wanda says, after I left work today, I went to Walgreens to get my second vaccine shot. Yes. Oh gosh, I've got to get my flu shot too. The girl behind the counter of the pharmacy was snide, rude, and apparently, yeah, illiterate. Okay. Oh, is this pretty? I hope you guys are seeing this. She left your card on the counter for everyone to see. Jennifer says, I use that sometimes when I just can't get to sleep, but the past couple of nights hasn't worked. Brain and body has other ideas. So Wanda says she left my card on the counter for everyone to see while I waited. Okay, was this your vaccine card or your credit card? Okay, let me turn this. Okay, so notice now how this extra shade of green, guys, is giving our depth and detail. Excuse me, depth and dimension. Maddie says, gotta walk this gas out, painful. Okay. Wanda, was this a credit card? Wanda says, I intentionally sat right in front of her because I was having a hearing loss and I was watching her intently and listening for my name. Okay. Oh, your vaccine card. Okay. Finally, I went up and asked about my card laying on the counter and was told I would get it back after I got the shot. Okay. Wow. So what was the hard time this lady gave you? Okay, so let's smooth this out just a little bit. All right, zoom out. So let's take a look at this. I want you to see the difference now between this area and this area. She didn't care at all that she was making me wait. When she would call a name, she kept saying Fortnite in a very low. Behind her masked voice, I couldn't even hear, even though I was sitting up front. Oh. Zoom in. Zoom in. Finally, I started getting furious, and the other people asked my name and told me she'd been saying Fortnite. Okay. I was shaking. I was so mad. Oh, no. So how'd you resolve the situation? So tell me, was it a young kid? You took her picture and planned to call the manager. Yeah. Please tell me that wasn't the one that gave you the shot. I texted my friends asking if they had bail money. Oh my. Zoom out. Let's take a look at this. Zoom out. Zoom out. I'm actually surprised that they were calling names out loud like that, because that would be a HIPAA violation. I'm thinking, maybe not. Okay, everybody see? Wanda, she said, I'm so angry I just had to get out of the store. I didn't even wait my 15 minutes. Yeah. My friend called me when I was walking out of the store and I was yelling into the phone. I never get like that. So I went to see the massage chair. Oh, Wanda. Yee. I'll tell you what, I've gotten to the point I really will not put up with people that are clerks that are especially nasty. I'll very nicely call them out on it. Okay, zoom out. Zoom out. All right, guys, take a look at this. Do you see how I'm getting the dimension on here? Now, I don't ever want you to think it's a waste of time to go ahead and do stuff like that. So Wanda says, then I calmed down and came home. See how really great this looks? I'm putting in my colorings. I'm layering in my colorings. Right, I'm layering in my colors. And it's giving us lots of depth here. Okay, so now, whoops, well, look at that. Tip of my point just fell out. Hold on. So Wanda says, seriously, I was ready to rip her head off. Sorry. I don't know why you're saying sorry. How old was this person, Wanda? Okay, so I'm taking my black, and I want you to notice now, zoom in, zoom in, zoom in. I want you to notice that I'm just going over and I'm just shading areas of this, especially I'm concentrating on the tips. Probably mid-20s. That's a lot of the explanation. Yep. Yeah, back when COVID was really raging, Walmart had a standing policy that you're supposed to wear a mask. The workers were supposed to wear masks. And, oh man, I gotta fix this. And I kept seeing this one manager of all things, not a manager, well, he was he's one of the guys that stands up front, so he was, I don't know what they call him, but he wasn't running the register, but he was there if anybody in the register had problems. And the turkey wouldn't wear his mask. Now, I'm talking about, like, this is full-blown, everything's in the mood, in the, news. So I finally went to a manager and I said, hey, This guy's walking around from register to register, no mask on. Let me back that story up. So I talked to the person directly, younger kid, and I said, please wear your mask. And he started giving me a hard time about it. So I called the manager over, and we were talking about the issue. And I said, you know, this person won't wear their mask, yada, yada, yada. And I was explaining the situation because this was a younger person who didn't care. And this kid was so dumb that he said, I said, don't you care that you could be infecting somebody? And he said, no, I only care about my family. And that manager, you could have seen, I mean, her jaw dropped to the floor. And I turned to the manager and I said, see? I rest my case. So when you first got to the counter, says Wanda, I laid my vaccine card down between me and her. When she asked for my card, she opened her hand like I was supposed to pick it up and put it in her hand. I slid it forward closer to her and she never picked it up. Okay, everybody see now how this adding the darker color, very light shade of black here. Now, don't get stupid with your black, all right? You're only adding that extra color to give the whole piece your depth and dimension. So everything, zoom in, zoom in. Everything that I'm doing now, I'm just going ahead and I'm just putting that shade of black towards the outside. Yeah, I've got my little major battle today. Little major battle? That doesn't even make sense. USPS on Saturday and Sunday, which is when my last shipment came in, happened to come in over the weekend, and USPS, my daily guy is really great. He'll walk my packages up to my door for me, and my screen door, I've left the top panel open and they can just chuck them inside, and that way they don't get wet. Well, the USPS people on the weekends don't care at all, and the idiot, these are subs and so forth, left a box in the rain propped up against the base of my patio. I mean, literally the open area was like 6 inches or a foot at the most in front of their nose. You didn't kill the chat. It's alright. We're talking. So the item that I happened to be getting was, guess what? A ream of paper. Paper and rain do not mix, even when they're in a box. So that was loss number one. Then recently, this past Sunday, I was supposed to get 4 packages. I got 3. And this has been an ongoing battle with them because they, like I said, they have subs on weekends and they don't care at all. So I talked to the manager today and I said, look, I've had it. I said, I'm not mad at you. I'm mad at what's going on. I have called and I have had issues. I've had my packages misdelivered. I mean, I've been keeping a little a running tally if I have delivery problems. So now I've lost about $30 worth of product. And the thing is, I can't keep going back to Amazon to replace it because at some point in time, if you keep asking for replacements on stuff, they're going to tag you for fraud. I said, you know, sir, and Caleb, that's who I talked to, and I said, look, I don't know what to do anymore. I said, is there any way that you can, hello, Maggie. I said, is there any way that you can just hold my packages and not deliver them over the weekend and just get them during the week when I have a good carrier? And he said, no, I'm sorry, we can't do that. I said, well, at this point, I said, something's got to be done. So what I'm inclined to do now, I love it, Maggie. Good evening, Nurse Maggie in the house. So what I'm inclined to do is call Amazon and see if I can get them to just ship all my stuff UPS. So we'll see. But it's frustrating. It really is. But I told Caleb, I said, Caleb, I'm not mad at you. I said, really, right now, I'm depending on you to help me. Okay, zoom out. Zoom out. Oh, guys, look at this. Isn't that pretty? Maggie, what you been up to lately, sweetie? But then there are people in the world like Ashley Harding who sends their group books to color. Okay, I hope that you can see how beautiful now this is looking. And I want you to see, so now I'm just adding in my little shading here towards the outside, and I want you to see the depth and dimension that this is taking on by doing this. Okay, zoom out, zoom out. Take a look at this, guys. Look at the difference now between this side, how rich that looks, and this side where I haven't put any of the black on there. Can you guys see that difference? Now be careful that you blend it. That, ladies and gentlemen, is the difference when you go ahead and just shade in a little bit. You can use a darker gray to do this. You can use the black. Just don't get, you know, like I always say, don't get stupid with it. Okay. And again, check out the difference between this side and this side. Zoom in. Zoom in. Look at that. Isn't that something? Very, very simple, straightforward technique. Now, Ashley, you were commenting on not being happy with your greenery. I'm still looking for you to post the picture, because this may be one of the things where it's you personally that are self-criticism and nobody else would really notice. Okay, so let's go ahead and shade in, zoom in, zoom in, zoom in. And I want you to remember that even when you go over something lightly, especially with black, that color is transferring. So I don't want you to put down the color down. I don't want you putting the color down until your eyes see it. I want you to put the color down until your brain sees it. Some people, when they color and they're adding a shade, they'll put it on there until they see the subsequent color that they're adding. Instead of letting the pencil do the work and do the effect that they want. Okay? And of course, keep turning the pencil. Oh my gosh, guys, and I ran into the movie Lawrence of Arabia. Oh, I love that movie. Peter O'Toole. Oh, how pretty is that? Okay, so let me rotate this around. Now, I'm going to remind you also that as you're doing something like this, it's going to look wonky. Why? Because we don't have anything around it to balance it out. And you should never, ever, ever make a judgment on your piece until it's done. Zoom out. check this out now. All right. Let's see what we got here. Questions? Oops. See how we got that black mark on there? Zoom out. So what color do you want me to make the mailbox when I go ahead and do the mailbox? Typical black. Rhonda says, I just drew some add-on tree and shrubs to my picture. Looks like a 5-year-old did it. Hopefully you did it in pencil. Rhonda, keep at it. Okay, so I'm thinking maybe a light gray for the mailbox or a hardy gray. We could do the black. Zoom in. Excuse me, good grief. Zoom in. Zoom in. So I'm going to go ahead and play with the pine cone. We'll get that going. So I'm using my blender pencil, and I want you to notice Wanda says silver metallic. Okay. I want you to notice how dark now this pine cone turned because I'm blending it. Now, this is a situation here where I can't use, okay, let me explain here. I want to keep this shade of brown without having to go any darker. So, if I try to fill in all that, popcorn effect, which is the white showing through, it means I'm going to have to go with the darker brown, and that's not going to work for me. So this is a situation where I'm using my blender pencil. I'm not using my ivory Faber-Castell 103. And I want you to see now how nice that brown is turning out. And this is a perfect example also. Notice how much darker it's getting. So this is a perfect example where you think you're getting one color and you actually are getting another. So I'm blending in little teeny tiny circles, and we'll get that brown in there. And it looks like I missed a spot. Okay. Oh, I guess Maggie still isn't here. Oh, Ashley's back, Maggie's back. Okay. What happened? Did you guys get booted out? Okay, I'm using a seal brown from my Brett Funner 520. Oh, Maggie, I'm glad you came back. So I'm going through and I'm shading my edges here. And what I would suggest to you, if you are unsure as to what a pine cone looks like, what do I always say? Google the image. Notice how I'm leaving the whiter areas or lighter areas in the center. So Ashley, are you coloring with me on this particular piece? Oh, check this out, guys. Now, I would encourage you that if you're coloring something and it comes out differently than what you anticipated, work with it. See, the problem is a lot of people, especially new people to coloring, they'll start a project, and if it doesn't come out exactly how they envisioned it, they think it's a failure. Excuse me while I take some water here. And that's not the case, guys, at all. If your color changes, then change your concept with it. Hi, Dorothy. Wanda, could you help me to get your colored file? I'm not very good with electronics, maybe at the end of this program. Wanda, feel free to explain it now, if you wish, because if somebody else needs that help. Dorothy, good to see you, sweets. Now, another thing I want you to keep in mind when you're coloring is you have a vision of how you want your piece to look, right? What you need to keep in mind that as you are coloring your object, you know, you're doing your shading, you're adding your colors, that you've got to give your piece a chance to develop towards what you want it to look like. So I've got my lighter brown, I've got my darker brown, which is my seal brown. And now I'm going to grab my black. Does anybody have a favorite black brand that they use? For example, I like the Prismacolor white. Okay, so I'm going to use a dark gray. Zoom in. And now I'm going to start coloring in between my little nodules here. Rhonda says, I like Polychromos Black or Amazon Premier Black. Melissa says, good night all, gotta get my nightly chores done. Melissa, I'm so glad you could join us. Wanda, can you explain to Dorothy how to download that the file from her email? Walk her through that. So what I want you to notice now is I'm darkening the area where the little pine cone nubbies come together. And that's what's going to make this piece look really, really cool. Wanda, just a suggestion, maybe when you email your file, include instructions with it, instructions with it on how to download. Okay, everybody notice now how I'm getting that dimension now on our pine cone, because I'm pushing in the dark gray. Now notice here, like I said before, that my black is going around my little nubbies here. And notice that when I go in between now, how these start to pop out. Now, don't be afraid to add this darker color. And that tends to be another newbie mistake that people make, is they'll add a little bit of color and it won't be enough. Experiment with it. Hold on, I'm just sharpening my pencil. Zoom out. Let's take a look at that. Zoom out. So don't be afraid to shadow in the crevices. Does everybody see now how that's giving us really decent dimension? Now I'm going to go ahead and do the second pine cone because I want you to see this. Put that away, my little thingy here. Anybody have questions on these pine cones so far? So Rita said, you helped me get it going and it's on my email and I can pull up the gorgeous colors anytime. So Dorothy, you can leave the file in your email. When you get the email, just click on the link and that should take you to the pictures. Okay, I've got my Faber-Castell Caput Mortem 169. Ashley, what's going on? Zoom in. Zoom in. And again, I want you to notice too that I'm not coloring these willy-nilly. I'm coloring each individual area. Zoom in. And I'm sorry, I didn't mean to slide off camera here. And I've got a little bit of a green of all things. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Part of that wreath is back there behind that silly little pine cone. There we go. Okay, so let's go in now. Blend your pencil. Yeah, But Ashley, I want you to sit tight because that's what I'm going to do next. What you would do is you would tip the you would add the snow where you think that the snow would fall. And what I highly suggest, Ashley, is go to Google and look at snow-tipped pine cones. Okay. So I've got that blended. And now I'm going to go ahead and use my dark gray again. And start highlighting my shadow points. And I'm also running a little bit of a line here where I'm going to shade next to that scarf. And if there's any areas that you need to blend up a little bit, just because they're a little bit popcorny, go ahead and do that. But better to blend beforehand. I don't think I blended. Okay, now we'll get that shading in. Oh, my pencil point. What is going on here? Sit tight. Okay. Just having a pencil that's being obnoxious. Zoom out. Broke again. Woo! Now, if you want to add a little bit of darker shading yet, and this situation may come up, artist choice is go ahead and get your black and pop it in. So I've got my light brown, I've got a darker brown, and now I'm going over and hitting this up with some black. We want this pine cone to look pretty vivid. Okay. Zoom out. Zoom out. Check that out. So let me go ahead and add, I'll go ahead and add the snow for you, Ash. Let me get a little bit of water here. Rhonda says I'm back. Wanda, I got the PDF file open. Third time's the charm. Good. Alright. Ashley, you still with us? Zoom in. Zoom in. Poor Ashley's getting kicked out for some reason. Zoom in. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to look for the high point of my pine cone. Maggie says she had to switch to her phone. Okay, Maggie. And what you want to do is you want to look for the high point of your piece. Now, let's see what we got here. This is curving up. Okay. I want you to notice that I'm using a tapping motion. And that's giving me a nice thick application here of my snow. Now, be careful that you don't get too patterned. We've talked about that. So I'm going to go ahead and just dot in some of this snow. So in other words, I'll whiten the edge, but then I'm just going to add a few more dots around there. See that? Jennifer said, so I'm coloring a picture while watching and just found out a cool trick. I'm coloring in an Ava Brown book and the outlines of the picture is real light. Yes, I was shading with my Prismacolor blender and it made the outline pop. So cool. Sorry, had to share. Why are you apologizing, honey? That's what we do in this. This is exactly what we do here. That's why I'm live. We share ideas here, guys. Speak up anytime. Now, you want to be careful. Hi, Kathy. So we don't want to get too patterned on this. Now, I still have another step. So Jennifer says, I blended an area, then looked up watching your live and looked back down and it had changed colors. And you thought that you were just really tired. Oh, that's funny. So what you're saying is you used a Prismacolor blender on the light lines and they came up darker. And like I said, I have another step that I'm going to be doing on this. So notice that I'm just doing a little bit of random dotting on this. So a little bit darker on the edges, or a little bit thicker on the edges, I should say, and then just put your random dots in. Okay, zoom out, zoom out, zoom out. Jennifer, copy and paste the text that you just did the description with. Post it in the main group, please. And just in capital letters, just put tip. And then just do a double return and then paste in the method. You know, just edit it a little bit so that it's clear what you did. Zoom out. So it's coming along. Now I want to show you another area that I'm going to add some snow. Zoom in, zoom in, zoom in. And Jennifer, I don't know why you were apologizing for bringing this up during live. This is exactly what we do. All right. So now I'm going to put a little bit of snow on our berries. Look at that, guys. Isn't that cool? Now, I don't know if you would have thought to do this. Ashley is still with us. And again, I'm using my Arteza gel pen white. I love these guys. They tend to not skip. And my question is, how many of you would have thought to put the snow on the berries? Oh, how cool does that look? Zoom out. Zoom out. All right, so let's go ahead and put some snow on this greenery. Let me turn this. Questions, comments? Zoom in. Zoom in. All right, that should be dry enough. So let's go ahead and get some snow on this greenery. And Ashley, that was your original question about where to put the snow. Now keep in mind, oops, I'm not even on the, hold on, where am I? Sorry. Oh my. You guys know I do that every once in a while. That's why you love me. And I want you to keep in mind that when we start coloring these other pieces, this is really going to make sense. Now, technically speaking, I probably should have just done all the coloring first and then gone ahead and added the snow afterwards, but I want to just start adding it now. If you're still unsure about your coloring, add it last thing. But if you're comfortable with your coloring, you can add it now. Okay, I'm going to sit tight on that. Now, I'm not going to go through and add all of this now. I'm just going to add a little bit of it just to give you a tasters. Of how this is going to look. Okay? So Maggie says, ever just go vac blank when trying to background to do a background? Okay, can you please rephrase that question? I'm sorry, I'm not understanding it. Can't type either. And here I thought you were just speaking a new language. I'm guessing that you were asking me, have I ever gone blank adding a background? Alright, we'll have a contest to figure out what Maggie's trying to say. Have I totally blanked on how to do a background? No, not really. If something doesn't pop to mind, Maggie, I'll leave it sit. And that way I can get some fresh eyes on it. Now, if you want a slightly different look on your snow, instead of dotting in your snow, you can go ahead and dash it in. See how I'm doing that? So I just want to show you this method as well. And you can decide which one you like. So see, I'm putting on short dashes here. Hi, Sarah. So there are two ways that you can do this. Now be sure to clean your pen off because you know it picks up that wax from the pencil. So I'm just going to do a little bit of this greenery here just so that you can see. And as Ashley just mentioned, sometimes with busy pictures, simple backgrounds are best. Exactly. Ashley, did I answer your question about the snow? Okay. And again, you can do a combination of your dashes and your dots. Sounds like Morse code, doesn't it? Just keep wiping off your pen tip. Don't blame the pen if it skips. Okay. Zoom out. So up here I did like little dots. Up here I did more dashes and dots. Up to you. Depends what look that you want. And again, if you get impatient with doing something like this, then walk away from it for a while or go to something different. Guys, what's the most important part of your picture? And Rhonda's saying, oh no, not again, she's asking. Zoom in. Zoom in. Okay, Jennifer, you take care. Jennifer, I'm going to work on the flag in the mailbox. I think that'll be really cool. And guys, I can't recommend Arteza pen gel pens white enough. They color beautifully. I love them. Jennifer says, yes, I think I may need to add this book to my collection. Jennifer, will you please text me for the link? I haven't put it in our affiliate list yet. But I will get it there. I'll plan on doing that tonight. I'm sorry, what? Just the white or all? What do you mean, Sarah? I'll add the affiliate link for this book. The one I'm working on that you said that you think you want to get. Okay, zoom out. Zoom out. Doesn't that look cute? And of course, when I add the other snow around, it'll look really fabulous. The Arteza gel pen should already be there. What is the name of this book? It is the Zoom Out. Very Merry Christmas coloring book. Ashley Harding got it for us. Brand new book by Debbie Macomber. She just released it. And I'll tell you what, guys, when I start coloring in the mailbox and the flag, this is going to look fabulous. Ashley likes to supply us with books every once in a while, don't you, Ashley? Okay. I think this is looking fabulous. I love it. Absolutely love it. Rhonda, you still hanging out with us? Okay. So I'm in the mood to do the mailbox flag. Now, this is exactly what I mean about doing certain portions of your piece. I figured you were, Rhonda. I was just checking on you. And Rhonda, again, great news about Paula. I'm so happy about that for you. Good. I can't wait to see your Adam and Eve. Okay, I'm going to do the flag, and I'm going to do the mailbox. Zoom in. So I'm going to start with the Algerian Crimson 087. Now, here in the United States, our flags on our mailboxes are red. I don't know if the color varies in other countries. Zoom in. Zoom in. But I'm going to go ahead and follow the red with a Christmas motif. So guys, tell me what your mailbox flag color is. Okay, so I want this to be a very vibrant red. Zoom in. No, oh, don't do that. Zoom in. Zoom in. Zoom in. I think that's so funny. Every once in a while I'll say that, zoom in, and it goes the other way. I'm using a Castle Arts Soft Touch. Alizarin Crimson 087. You're welcome, Kathy. All right, so let me work this down. So guys, what color is the flag on your mailbox? Is it orange? Is it red? And again, do a search on Google under mailbox flags. So Kathy says red. I guess it's a US thing that it's red. I've always remembered it as being red. All right. Oh, Wanda says, I don't have a flag on my mailbox. Mine is encased in an arched brick structure and is covered in live ivy. So how do you tell the delivery person that you've got outgoing mail? Now, guys, when you're doing your mailbox like this, your flag, oh, you drop it at a post office or any blue box. Oh. I would think that you could attach a flag to that. I've seen those brick ones with flags on them. Okay, so I've got this red. Now you know that that's not going to be the only thing I'm going to do, right? So now I'm going to take a Brett Funner 074, and it's a darker red. It's a maroonish color. And I'm going to go in and shade around the outside. Now, technically speaking, when you have a mailbox flag like this, it's a flat color. I mean, they just slap paint on it and that's it. But for the sake of the coloring, this coloring, I'm going to go ahead and add this darker maroon on it. And notice that I'm putting it on the edges. And I'm bringing it in a little bit. Everybody see how vibrant now that red is becoming. And notice now I'm sweating the details here. How pretty is that? Now, I also want you to notice that since I put that darker color in between these this greenery, that makes it look even darker yet. And that's because of the close proximity of the colors. Now, I'm also going to take the same color and I'm going to color the outside areas. Zoom in. I'm going to color the outside areas here and these stripes. And what I want you to notice, the colors are very close, but they are different. And that's what's going to make this piece look really cool. Hello, Stacy. So I want you to notice the differences in my colors. Stacy, how did your orientation go today? You did start today, right? Okay. So she said, yes, I did. I got fidgety at the end. I was tired of sitting there all day, doing it again tomorrow. I know. Isn't orientation awful? Okay, so now I'm using my darker red in this area here. Oop. Zoom out. And let me pull this down here. And round this corner. And guys, while I'm at it, please share this broadcast to your timeline. It doesn't matter if people color or not. This is for people that are alone, fighting depression, fighting medical issues, that they can just come in and enjoy some really neat company and coloring. Even if they just watch, please, please share. Zoom out. Zoom out. Zoom out. Kathy says her cat just laid down on her coloring page. Yep. Thank you, Stacy, for sharing. Okay. Now, I'm going to go ahead and pop in some snow on top of that flag. Zoom in. Zoom in. Zoom in. So I'm using my Arteza white. And I want you to notice something about this. Excuse me. Red is a very strong color. And sometimes when you use your Arteza, the red will come through. It just does. It's not the fault of the pen. It's a pigment issue. So what I will do is, after this dries, I'll go back and I'll put on a second layer. Now, when you put on that second layer, that's where you've really got to be careful, and you need to dot it on, because if you drag your pen over that first layer, even after it's dry, it can come up. So please keep that in mind. It's, again, not a pen issue. It's a pigment issue. Now, if you have white acrylic paint, which actually I believe I do, you could go ahead and use a toothpick and put the white on. That would work as well. And I want you to notice too that I'm running this white down. And I'm definitely going to have to go back over this. Now the other area that you, and this is details guys, the other area that you want to put your snow on, this is supposed to be here a little hinge. And so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put some snow on top of that hinge. Isn't that cool? So I want you to think cute and I want you to think details. So let me go ahead and color in that hinge. While I'm at it, I'm going to use a warm light gray. And then I'm going to use a 9, it's called 9 Iron by Brett Funner, which is a dark, really dark gray. Now I want you to notice that I'm pushing the color up into my white pen because I want that snow to be on there randomly. So see, I'm making it look like the snow kind of fell in clumps. There you go. Doesn't that look cool? Details, guys. Okay. So let's go ahead and work on our mailbox. Rhonda was thinking a gray, light gray, a metallic gray. So let's go ahead and play around with that. Let's see what we got. Alright, so I'm going to pop in now with, this is a Prismacolor Silver PC 949. So let's go ahead and start getting that color in there. Zoom in. So I'm going to start in my, on the very top. And again, you know full well that I'm not going to go ahead and just pop in a silver gray, a silver color, metallic silver, and leave it the way it is. You know me better than that by now. So I'm going ahead and laying my base color. Oops, excuse me, sorry. That's what happens when I get close up for you guys. I get my orientation a little muddled sometimes. But I want you to see this. Alright, let me roll this around. And remember guys, I've said this time and time again, if you are bored with an area, stop coloring in it and go with something else. Alright, let me sharpen my pencil. And we'll work up here. And let me go down here. And then we'll slide down a little further. Now, some people like to create their own gray. Kathy says I'm back, but I have to say goodnight. I'm going to the office tomorrow. Good night, everyone, and sweet dreams. Thank you, Kathy. We'll see you tomorrow night. Now, Prismacolor has an excellent silver. I like it. Is there anybody else that has a really great metallic silver that they like? The brand? Okay. One extra little spot. All right. Zoom out. Now, it's up to you how you want to do the inside. Zoom out. Zoom out. Zoom out. The assumption is when this mailbox was manufactured that it was manufactured out of one piece of steel. So the inside is going to be the same as the outside. But of course you know that I'm not just going to leave it this way, right? Zoom in. Notice how I'm taking my time. Coloring in little circles and making sure that I have 100% coverage here. And that would be Vicky barking. Alright, and boy, that metallic, guys, is so pretty. I don't know if you can see the shine. There you go, see the shine? See how that's shining? No, Vicky's not fussing at me. She's just barking at something downstairs. Vicky, come here! Oh, sorry guys, I didn't mean to yell in your ear. Okay. Zoom out. So now I'm going to go ahead and we'll still catch the inside. Hi, sweetie. What were you barking at? Yeah, it's nothing, Mom. Yeah. Okay, and then we'll go ahead and point to all this, guys, so just bear with me. Sometimes Vicky will bump into something like an Amazon box and it'll topple over and then she barks at it. Okay, so again, guys, take your time when you're doing your metallics. Zoom in. And got a little bit on the edge here. Stacy, good night. Glad you could join us. She says, I'm going to say good night. Pretty tired and having another long day tomorrow. Yeah. Hopefully they provide a lunch for you. Now, if you get a little bit of scuffing from your pencil, which is what's happening here, and sometimes that happens when you color in a large area, be sure just to change direction. See how that's disappearing? Now, I don't mind the scuffing look, being that it's a metallic mailbox. Alright, so let's get these. And like anything else, even when you're using metallic pencils, guys, again, you need to change direction and you need to go over your areas multiple times. There we go. Alright. So Stacy says she gets breakfast and lunch today, breakfast tomorrow. Excellent. Alright. And then you know that I like to rub with my finger. Alright, zoom out. So now we've got a really cool looking base color of the gray mailbox. Now, I'm going to come back with a light blue metallic. And this is a Brett Funner. So let me go ahead and do this in a smaller area. Zoom in. Zoom in. And between the silver and blue now, we're getting a really neat gray. Grayish metallic silver. Now, when you add this, you add it lightly. Now, I went ahead and added that as a solid color on the inside, but when I go to do the outside, I'm going to use this as a shade color. So you want to make sure that you're in between your greenery. and then just smooth it out and darken. We come in a little bit lighter into the center. And that gives us that little indication of our depth and dimension. Now notice I'm going to go back on the edge, just the edge, and I'm going to darken that in. Same pencil. And come in just a little bit. Zoom out. Now on the inside of the mailbox, so I've got this little corner right here. I'm going to do the whole thing. Just like I did near the top. Up here, okay? I didn't edge it, I went in and I colored the whole thing. And then when I come down to the bottom piece, let me move my camera just a little bit. When I come in to do my bottom piece, I'm going to darken this a little bit by my envelopes. And do my edges. Now, I understand, I get it, this is the inside of the box yet, right? But I'm not going to go ahead and do that solid color because I want that shading by the envelopes. Let me sharpen here. So I'm just going to shade now around the outside here. And just blend that color in a little bit. And remember, this is my blue now that I'm using, but it's taking the characteristic on of the gray, of course. Had a little hand spasm there. And I want you to notice that the shading is getting narrower and narrower as I come towards the front because of the perspective of where we're looking at it. So I'm just going to do a little bit of gray, I'm sorry, blue on that edge. Because this edge is forward, we're not seeing the whole height of the piece on the inside. And I'm just going to bring that around a little bit. Sorry for the shadow. Now, here's something I want you to think about. This envelope is at an angle, right? It's angled up. It's not flat against the mailbox opening. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create, I want you to watch this, a shadow of the envelope. Everybody see that? And guys, I want you to think about things like this. And then I'm just very, very lightly going to blend that out. Everybody see how I got that shadow? And this will make a lot more sense when we get the rest of this done. Zoom out. Zoom out. And I also want you to keep in mind that these envelopes are going to be brightly colored. So even though this looks a little dark right now, it won't be. Anybody have a question about that shadow that I put in? All right, Wanda just finished her dedication page for the new book. Yay, I can't wait to see it. I won't give away the secret, Wanda, unless you want to say what's in it. Okay, anybody have any questions or comments about how I'm doing this so far and how it's looking? Zoom in. I think this is looking pretty cool. And again, you can see as everything comes together, it's going to make things... Oh, she says, I think I just finished the book. Yay. Woohoo! So anybody have any questions or comments about this? I think we're in pretty good shape, and I'm showing you lots of detail about how this is coming together. And it's going to look a little wonky in the beginning, but when we get to the end, I think you'll be happy with it. Okay guys, I'm calling it an evening. Oh, Wanda says she'll post a dedication page in the group and all can see it. Cool. Fun. Alright guys, this is ILene Vick for Teaching Adult Coloring with ILene Vick. We are working on Debbie Macomber's Very Merry Christmas. And I hope you're having fun watching this, and I hope you learned something. I think I just said that. Teaching, yeah, this is ILene Vick for Teaching Adult Coloring with ILene Vick. I couldn't remember if I said it. Duh. Guys, joyous, joyous coloring. I've got one more thing I'm going to do on our little pine cone. I think you'll like it. And then we'll go from there. Alright guys, you have a great rest of the evening. Love on each other. And if you know of somebody that needs a text, please send it. And please share this group broadcast. Alright guys, calling it an evening. Take care. Share the video. Bye.